thought I'd say good morning, but you know, I think from now on, I'm just going to let them have it and let them go.
I'm fine with the court's pleasure, but yeah, I'm fine with telling them to. I think.
Just, all right, well then just bring them down, put them in.
I mean, they could always say, say hello, good morning, but this group's pretty anxious to.
You know, they're a working group, so.
Yeah, so.
All right, I don't have anybody here, but. There have been discussions, not about this case, but previously about the thickness of the walls and whether you can hear under doors and things like that in other courtrooms. I mean, there's never been a trial in this courtroom. And for instance, you know, that jury room over there, they're right there behind that wall, and there was always talk about what you could or couldn't hear underneath the door. This one's a little different because it's back around the corner, but we had seemingly allowed folks to stay in the courtroom even though we were in recess, just because, you know, they can sit wherever they'd like, really. It's been brought to my attention that that may be a little problematic. There's a possibility you might be able to hear through these walls both ways, whether you might hear jurors through the walls or whether you can hear folks in here talking, not meaning to be loud or overheard, but loud, or loud enough you might be able to hear it. So the upshot of all that is, what I'm going to do is, when we're in recess, and I guess I'll wait, I'll have to repeat myself for the media. We're going to have everybody stay out until 5 minutes before. That way it'll be quiet in here. They good? Let me give them a second to come in. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, gotcha.
All rise. Circuit Court Division CRD in and for Duval County, the state of Florida is now in session. The Honorable Russell Henry presiding. May God save the people of the state of Florida and this honorable court. Thank you. May you be seated.
All right, good morning, everybody. The jury is here, and they have gone ahead and resumed their deliberations. So, in a minute, we'll be in recess again until we hear something from the jury. We had changed, as I understand it, a little protocol, and that was people were allowed to stay in the courtroom even though we weren't in session, just for a place to sit while waiting. There had been some issues, not in this case particularly, but previously in other courtrooms about being able to hear through these walls, either hear jurors' deliberations or hear people that were in the courtroom could be heard through the wall going the other way. I didn't know if that was going to be an issue in this courtroom or not. We've never tried a case in this courtroom before. This is the first one. That all having been said, I think the best thing to do is when we're in recess is not have anybody here in the courtroom. When we go to reconvene, we will allow people to come back into the courtroom, 5 minutes before we actually reconvene, so everybody will have time to get into a seat. But as far as waiting time, I would just ask that people wait outside in the common areas or wherever, so that we don't run into that issue. Apparently, yesterday, there were discussions that maybe both ways, I don't know, that may have been, I'm not saying anybody heard specific words, but muffled. There was some in here that I was informed about, and maybe some in the jury room. So just to be careful, I think the best thing to do is, and that's typically what we always do. Usually when you're waiting on a jury, there's never anybody in the courtroom until they have a question or it's time to reconvene for a verdict. Then everybody comes back into the courtroom. The reason that I think court administration talked about changing the protocol was because we've got a lot of people down here that are interested in the case, and so maybe it was just easy to let you sit here if you'd like. But I think it's a big building, so there's probably plenty of other places that you can sit and be relaxed, hopefully, while you're waiting. So that's what we'll do. So 5 minutes before we reconvene is when we'll have people come back into the courtroom, because otherwise there's nothing going on in here anyway. I think that was it. Did I have anything else I needed to talk about? Unless there's something y'all want to talk about.
Nothing, not mistaken.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. We'll see you when we get some word from the jury. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.